Okay, so for this assignment, I went ahead and chose people as my print versus web assignment to go ahead and compare. So what I'm looking at here is the website for people, and as you can see, it seems to be very crowded. There's a lot of pictures on the site, and also there's a lot of color, and there's also a lot of wording. You can see all different types of typography. You can see their use of colors. One thing I noticed is the blue background. Blue symbolizes, as we talked about in our color symbolism chapter, that it represents serenity and calmness, which I think goes well with this page just because of its busyness and the way everything is kind of all over the place. So I think the blue just kind of gives it a nice touch. And when I'm looking at this, my focal point goes straight to this picture of this guy right here, which is Joe Jonas. And I'm looking at this and I would be thinking this would probably be the main story. But as you can see to your left, there's a picture of Jessica Simpson and her sister Ashley Simpson, and on top of it, it says top story, which is kind of misleading because you would think when looking at this page, the focal point would be the main story, but it's actually the left of it. So, it's definitely kind of misleading in that way. I definitely would switch the two pictures out. And then when I go over to the magazine cover, I picked this up on the stands, and I'm looking at this picture of Beyonce, and she's obviously the focal point of this page, and it's larger, as in it's filling up the whole page. And you can see the typography is also very big and bold. It's highlighted in yellow, it's in all caps, and it stands out because it looks like it's attracting you because of the way it's worded and the way it's the height and the size of the words and also the color. And when I'm looking at the people, you can't really tell what it says behind her head, but I mean, we just assume it's people, but you'd notice the blue that's also in there, which is kind of similar to what their website was. They used the blue with the cover as well as the website, but if you look at the page for this, the people is actually in white, whereas here the people is colored in blue. And I like this cover just because of how the blue stays consistent. I mean, it matches her necklace on the page, and at the same time, when you're looking at the right column, you see the pictures in the blue borders. So that goes along with the theme of the blue that's in the website also. And I also noticed some pink in here, which is kind of what they had also on the website. They had some pink in there, and definitely would be more attracting into the female audience. So just looking at this, you can tell this is attracting a more feminine side rather than a masculine side. The website also uses more alternating colors with their headlines. Like here, they use a red and a gray, whereas here they stay consistent mostly with the colors. I mean, they do use it in variants, like say here, the Beauties of 2012, they put the of as in white, and in here they interchanged it with the white and the yellow again. So that's also very similar to the website. So looking at more, I would go ahead and click on another tab. Sorry, bear with me here. Okay, I look at this. This is their news, and I see that the news wire is again colored in pink. They kind of keep the same pink theme. They use it in their wording and their typography, and also they use a lot of all caps to generally, obviously, emphasize the wording. Looking at this, the pictures are not as big as it was on the front page. This is kind of a smaller picture. And also there's I would say this is less crowded than the home page just because there's not a lot of tons going on. I mean, you do have your right column here where it has a bunch of links, but at the same time, it's not overcrowded like it was in the home page where there's content everywhere and there's pictures everywhere and there's links everywhere. So this is a little bit more organized. I also noticed her typography isn't too stylish or too, out of place. They kind of keep it simple, probably using a classic serif typeface. I would, guessing if anything, it's, more similar to Arial. And if I click on their news section inside the magazine, as you can see, it's a little bit different. What they're doing here is they're kind of playing again with the color. If you look at the very top news section, which says Peepa's post-Paris fallout, the wording is, the typography there is definitely playful. You see the white, and then there'll be yellow that's following it against the green background. So that kind of gives it a good contrast. And it's also, again, in all caps, which is what they like to do, I guess, to emphasize really the wording and, to catch people's attention. And when you look down here, you see Katy Perry's news section, and then hers is also in all caps saying single and loving it, and it's in purple, it's in light purple and dark purple, so that that goes along almost with her hair. So the colors are almost like, they like to play with colors in this type of page right here, which is different from kind of what you're seeing here, because as you can see, the black, they're not really alternating colors here when it comes to headlines. You just see, more black, and it's not really using a bold type interface. So and then moving on, also their news section, one of their news section here for Star Treks, I've noticed that they have the leisure for magazine to go ahead and take up a whole page, whereas if you were working on a website, you can't really do that, because of course it would include the visitor to scroll down to see all the visuals. But here, since it's a magazine, they have more leisure to go ahead and put a large picture and take up the whole page with minimum content at the bottom. Whereas here, you can't really do that, because they need all the space they can get. So they try to pretty much cram everything into the website. So it's definitely something that's different. I feel like, when you're looking at the website, it's more crammed. Whereas here, I think when it comes to page print, it's definitely more relaxed and definitely have more space to play with. And also, it's, when you're looking at it, you're not getting distracted with different ads, or not getting distracted with different links. It kind of keeps it just simple and, focused on what's really going on. So.